We usually have dawats, that's parties, and are thinking what should be on a menu. So here I am showing you the various recipes that I had made for a dawat. In this video, I will be teaching you one starter recipe, and definitely there is no dawat where we won't serve biryani. So we'll be teaching you all step by step how to make this amazing tasting chicken biryani. This biryani turned out amazing, and I'm sure if you try this recipe you will love it too, as there are certain ingredients which are different from the usual biryanis that we make. So stay tuned and do watch this recipe of the chicken biryani. All the recipes that I will be showing you in this video are really different and unique, and you will not find these anywhere. So please do watch the complete video and try these recipes, and I'm sure your guests are going to enjoy the food. And then I had made a salan, that's tomato and green mirchi ka salan, that's khatta salan, that is served with the biryani as a side dish. This too turned out yum, and stay tuned to watch its recipe. This is a very different recipe from our usual baigan ka khatta salan, so it is a must try recipe. And finally, there is no dawat that ends without a dessert. So here is our dessert recipe, which is very different and unique. Keep guessing what the dessert would be, as I'm going to show you very soon what it was. Please watch my video and do subscribe. As a starter, we had kept fish fry and chicken fry. So here I am showing you the fish fry recipe. Here I'm using 1 kg of jalebi fish. Yes, you heard it right. It's jalebi fish, also known as tilapia fish. Its meat is very tender and tasty too. The various dry masala powders that I'll be using to coat the fish are 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 and 1/4 teaspoon of pink salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper powder, and 2 teaspoons of dry red chili powder. Combine all these dry masala powders together. Once it's well combined, add it to a mixer jar, and then to this we are going to add in our next ingredient for the coating, that's 1 large tablespoon of gram flour, that's chana ka atta, and just a bit of red food color, and this is totally optional. Grind this to obtain a smooth textured powder, and this grinding step is important as it also helps everything get well combined. Add around 3 to 4 tablespoons of cooking oil. The reason I am adding the cooking oil here is it coats the fish well and also helps the masala stick well on the surface of the fish. Make sure the oil is evenly distributed on all the fish pieces. So all you need to do is coat the fish well in the oil. Once that's done, start adding the dry masala powders that we just grinded. Make sure this masala is added well on the fish. As you see, this is a dry masala coating on the fish. I'm not using any lime juice here, nor ginger garlic paste, and that is the reason for applying oil, so that the fish pieces get completely well coated with the masala. The besan flour that we added also gives a really good flavor to the coating. So do try this recipe the next time you fry the fish. When all the pieces are well coated in the masala, all you need to do is allow these fish pieces to marinate. Marinate them for a minimum of at least 1 hour or overnight marination for best results. The important point here to be noted is that when you keep these fish pieces for marination in the fridge, do not cover any lid over it, as we need it to be dry and not release any water while it's getting marinated in the fridge. So, for the best results, overnight marination would be the best. So, I started frying these fish pieces the next day. Make sure when you add these fish pieces that the oil is well heated, as if the oil is not heated well, the masala can come out from the fish. So this is an important point here, that the fish pieces need to be added when the oil is really hot, and allow them to fry on each side for a minimum of 2 to 3 minutes. Do not turn the sides until it's well done on one side. This is another tip, as we usually tend to hurry to turn the sides, but that is not the right technique to fry it. So once it's done well on one side, only then turn the sides. These are some of the perfect frying techniques and tips that I learned from my mother in law, and I am passing it on to you. So, you too, please share my video and let others learn these tips too. Carefully start turning the sides of those pieces which you feel are done on one side. This fish does not take usually a very long time to fry, so that's around 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Believe me, this meat tasted so amazing, and whoever tastes the fish when they come home, they ask, "Which fish have you got?" So, this was the jalebi fish, that is tilapia fish. So, the next time you try fish fry, please do buy this fish and try this recipe. I'm sure you're going to love the flavor and the taste of it. Dawat ki biryani. I'm sure we all love to try out different recipes to make our biryani. So let me show you how I made this one. So to a large cooking pot, add in 1.5 cup of cooking oil. To this, add in a few whole spices. I'll be using around 3 medium-sized onions finely sliced. Add these onions to the oil once it's well heated. I'm using around 1 kg of chicken with bones for this recipe. Add in around a teaspoon of salt to fry the onions. Stir fry the onions until slightly golden brown. To the chicken pieces, I'm adding around 1 cup of thick curds. Let me show you all the masalas that I'll be adding to the chicken biryani. Add in around 6 heaped teaspoons of ginger garlic paste. I always prefer the homemade ginger garlic paste as it gives the best results for the biryani. Then to this add in 3 teaspoons of red chilli powder. You can adjust the spice level accordingly. We'll be using 3 medium-sized tomatoes for this recipe, and the tomatoes need to be cut as shown, and the juice of 2 limes. Add in a few mint leaves to the onions while they're frying. The mint leaves that are added at this stage gives a really good aroma to the chicken biryani. Add in around 8 to 10 green chilies. At this stage, the slit green chilies also release a really good flavor. Continue to stir fry the onions until you see that they turn slightly golden brown at the edges. As you see, this is the perfect color of the onions that should be when we are going to be adding the ginger garlic paste. Add in 2 Maggi chicken cubes at this stage. This is a unique ingredient that's added into this biryani. The Maggi chicken cubes that are added here gives a very different and a unique flavor to the biryani. So the next time you make chicken biryani, do try adding the Maggi chicken cubes to it. Stir fry the ginger garlic paste, the onions and the Maggi chicken cubes and all the masalas together until you see that the oil begins to separate and until the raw smell of the ginger garlic paste is completely gone. This step is important whenever you make biryani, as we want all the flavors to be released. Once you see that the oil begins to separate, at this stage add in the chicken pieces. Stir fry the chicken pieces well with all the masalas. This step is important whenever you make biryani as it helps remove the raw smell from the meat. So, this step can take around 7 to 8 minutes. So, you're going to fry until the color of the meat changes too. After frying the chicken pieces for 7 to 8 minutes, at this stage add in the tomatoes and the coriander leaves. I am using around half a cup of chopped fresh coriander leaves. And also the juice of 2 limes is added at this stage too. The tomatoes need to be cut as shown into medium sized chunks as they get tenderized faster. Give it all a really good mix and allow it to cook on a low flame. As you see, the tomatoes, the chicken, and the curd, everything releases water, so you do not need to add any water as the chicken is going to get well tenderized in the water that's already released. All you need to do is cover a lid and let it cook. While the chicken is almost done, the 2 unique flavors that are added are the Kevra essence and the rose essence. So you're going to add in the essence, just the quantity that's shown in the video, just a little bit to give it a hint that these 2 flavors are added. Believe me, this took the biryani to a next level as it was new to me, but it tasted so amazing, and I'm going to try my next chicken biryani the same way again. So once the chicken meat is well cooked and tenderized, let it cool down a little bit and start separating the oil which comes on the top. Remove the oil and keep it aside for later use. For 1 kg chicken biryani, I am using 1 kg ZEERA rice, that's small grain rice, and also half a cup of carrot and half a cup of green peas. Then bring water to a boil and add in some salt to cook the rice. You need to soak the rice for a minimum of 40 minutes at least prior to cooking. Once the water comes to a boil, start adding in the rice. The time for cooking this rice varies from that of the long rice. So you need to keep a check on the rice that it's only 80% cooked, and then you're going to strain them. After a couple of minutes, all you need to do is remove some rice grains and check on them. If 80% cooked means that when you try to break them, it's slightly a little bit uncooked in the center. Otherwise, its rest of it is done. So this is the clear cut sign that it has to be strained. So without any delay, strain the rice well. Then add in the rice to the akhni that is prepared. The chicken gravy that was prepared and kept, start adding the rice over it. Make sure, this is another tip I'll be sharing here, that your chicken akhni has to be hot too. Add in all the rice over the prepared chicken akhni as shown in the video. And then finally add in the oil that we had kept aside as shown. By adding the oil at this stage, it helps the rice take up all the flavor and makes them taste really good. And the final step that you need to do is just give it a slight mix. Not a full complete mix, but just do as shown in the video. All these are a few tips and tricks that I have shown here how to get the best results for your biryani. Once that's done, keep your cooking pot over a pan and then keep it on a low flame. So you're going to keep it on a low flame until the rice is completely done and the steam builds up well. Then there you go. The chicken biryani is ready. This chicken biryani turned out really amazing as the flavors that were incorporated into it made it taste really different from the rest of the chicken biryanis. So I'm sure that even you would have seen these ingredients being added in the chicken biryani the first time. So this deserves a try as I am telling you that it tasted really good. So please give this chicken biryani recipe a try and let me know how you liked it. For making the tomato green mirchi ka khatta salan, we will be requiring around 12 to 15 green mirchis. All you need to do is cut the top and slit it and remove the seeds. Repeat the same for all the green mirchis as shown here. And then cut them into half. This is an optional step. If you like to keep them full, you can, or even cut them into half as shown. We'll be using around 9 medium sized tomatoes to make the puree for the salan and around 5 medium sized tomatoes to be added whole. So these are the green mirchis and the tomatoes which are going to be added to make the khatta salan. To a large cooking pot, add in 3/4 cup of cooking oil. Tip: I'll be telling you a tip that's important. So, whenever you make khatta salan, be it baigan ka khatta salan or even this, oil is an important ingredient which enhances the flavor of this recipe. So, add in a good amount of oil. Once the oil is well heated, at this stage we are going to add in our cut green mirchis. So the first thing that's going to be fried and kept aside is the green mirchis. So add them to the hot oil. Stir fry these green mirchis in the hot oil until you see that they slightly turn golden brown in color. By doing this step, it enhances the flavor of the khatta salan. This step can take around 7 to 8 minutes. So you need to see that your green mirchis have changed the color as shown in the video. So this is the perfect color that we require. At this stage you can remove your green mirchis and keep them aside. The various masalas that we will be adding to make the khatta sala are 1 medium-sized onion, 1 teaspoon of ZEERA and fenugreek seeds, a small bunch of coriander leaves, around 3/4 cup of garlic cloves, then that's around 2 teaspoons of red chili powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of salt. Add all these to a mixer jar. Grind them by adding a very little water to it to make a smooth paste. And then once the oil is hot, add in the prepared masala paste to it. Stir fry this masala in the cooking oil until you see that it turns out really nice and aromatic. This step can take around 4 to 5 minutes as the masala needs to be stir fried really well to get a good flavor. Add in a few curry leaves too at this stage. You need to continuously keep stirring it and stir fry this for a few minutes. Meanwhile, prepare the tomato puree as well. Once you see that the masala is well stir fried and the oil begins to separate from it, at this stage you can add in the prepared tomato puree to it. Give this a really good mix until everything is well combined. At this stage, we are going to cover a lid and let this cook. And let it cook for around 12 to 15 minutes, that until you see it's well cooked and the oil begins to separate too. Once you see that the oil slightly begins to separate, at this stage we are going to add in our slit tomatoes. So all you need to do is take the whole tomatoes and make slits on it as shown. Make sure the slits that you make on them are quite deep too, as the tomatoes need to be well cooked in this gravy. Repeat the same for the remaining tomatoes as shown in the video. Start adding these tomatoes one by one into the gravy. This is a very unique style of preparing it, and once the tomatoes are well done and cooked, they take up a really good flavor of the khatta salan and they taste really good. Once you have added in all the tomatoes, at this stage you're going to cover a lid and let it cook. Once the gravy starts to boil and cook, then cover a lid and let the tomatoes tenderize. This can take around 12 to 15 minutes for the tomatoes to get well tenderized and also the gravy to slightly thicken. Give it all a good mix and check on the tomatoes. If you see that they are well done, at this stage I am adding in 1 small cap of vinegar. White vinegar is used here, but the best thing to be used here at this stage is the tamarind pulp. So you're going to soak in half a cup of tamarind pulp and then remove the pulp well and add it to the gravy, as it enhances the flavor of the khatta sala even better. At this stage, add in the green mirchis that we had stir fried and kept aside. And then, after adding this, cook it for another 5 to 7 minutes after combining everything well. Once everything is well combined, cover a lid and let it cook. Let it cook until you see that the gravy thickens and the oil begins to separate. When you see the oil begins to separate, that's a sign that your khatta sala is now ready and completely well cooked. This khatta salan turned out really yummy as the flavor of the tomatoes and the green mirchi, that combination was a really good combination to make it. So, the next time you try to make the khatta salan as a side dish with the biryani, do try this recipe as your guest will love it. This is a must try recipe as the guest enjoyed it and even asked me for its recipe. So please share my video with your friends and family so that they enjoy the making of this khatta salan. Coming to the dessert, if you guessed it as kaddu ka mitha, that's lauki ka mitha, bottle gourd sweet, then you were right. This dessert recipe turned out really tasty and yummy too. So let me take you through its making. All you need to do is take a lauki, that's bottle gourd, and peel the outer layer. I used around 4 medium sized lauki, that's bottle gourd, for this recipe. You can use around 2 large or 4 small sized lauki. Once you peel them, cut them as shown in the video and remove the center pulp area as shown in the video, as we will not be using that part for making the sweet. and then grate all the pieces of the lauki that we had kept. So this mitha is made by grating the lauki, that's kaddu. So hold it as shown in the video as it makes it easier to grate them. So here are the pieces of the lauki which are washed and cleaned and now ready to be grated. This is a very important step of the mitha, so all you need to do is grate, grate, grate. But it's worth the hard work as the mitha turns out really yum. Once all the kaddu is well grated, add it to a large deep cooking pot. Cover a lid and keep it on a low flame. You will see that the kaddu starts to release the water. Keeping it on a low flame, all you need to do is just give it a slight mix and let it cook again. So this water that is released is just enough to cook the lauki. So when you see that the water is completely dried and also the kaddu has tenderized well, at this stage we are going to start adding the other ingredients. The first ingredient to be added here is khoya, that's meva, or in other words you can also say the milk solids. So add in the khoya at this stage and give it all a good mix until it's well combined with the lauki. While doing all these steps, make sure it's on a low flame as this can take around 5 to 7 minutes to get completely well combined. The next ingredient that's going to be added is 1 tin of condensed milk. By adding in condensed milk, it enhances the flavor of this dessert and takes it to a next level. After adding in 1 tin of condensed milk, start to combine everything well. Give it a really good mix until everything is well combined. And then add in 1.5 cup of granulated sugar. The sugar can be added accordingly according to the sweetness level that you want to keep of this dessert. So once you add the sugar, now begin to mix it well until the sugar is well dissolved and combined in the dessert. At this stage, you will see that when you're adding the sugar and cooking, again it starts to release the water. So all you need to do is keep it on a low flame and continue to keep cooking it until you see you get a perfect slight thick consistency of the kaddu ka mitha. Add in a few saffron, that is saffron, to it as it enhances the flavor of the mitha. And continue to keep stirring. This is a very important point as you do not want the base of this dessert to burn. As you're constantly stirring it and cooking on the low flame, you see that it begins to slightly thicken. So at this stage, at this consistency, turn off the flame. As you see, once your dessert cools down a little bit, it thickens more. So do not cook it any further, just turn off the flame and keep it aside. This is the final look of the kaddu ka mitha once it slightly cools down. You see that it thickens more and then it starts to taste even better as you see the mawa, the condensed milk and everything that's gone into it enhances the flavor of this dessert. Finally, add in 1 cup of coarsely grinded almonds. Why we did this? Because we can mix these almonds really well in the kaduka mitha and it's going to get well distributed in the mitha as well. So, before the final garnish, do remember to add the coarsely grinded almonds to it. And this was the final look of the kaddu ka mitha. It tasted really yummy. So if you have never tried making this dessert, then please do give this dessert recipe a try. Oh my god, all the recipes that I showed you, if you make it for your next dawat recipe, believe me, your guests are going to say wah wah. Thank you so much for watching my videos and supporting me. Please continue to watch my videos and support my channel. And if you're visiting for the first time, please do subscribe.